My name is Ty Allen, and I'm one of the three hosts and curators for the Poetry Cafe, under the guidance, of course, as he said, our illustrious leader, Professor Donna Hill. And if you are an avid reader, look up the name Donna Hill, and it will take you a lifetime to go through all the titles that she has composed and crafted. And she has a Lifetime movie. Like, she's doing big things, as well as leading us here at the Center for Black Literature, which is the umbrella to the National Black Writers Conference. So, we've been doing this. I've been lucky enough to be either a host or curator for this program since 2007, I think it is. I had to go away for a little bit because you can't be a politician and also fund. It's illegal. So I had to leave for a little bit and then come back. I followed the law. Yeah, I have 5 letters to my last name, but none of them have a T or a P in it. So, oh, is that on camera? This is why they don't want me talking in front of people. So, tonight, for the 18th National Black Writers Conference, we have an assortment, I said assortment on purpose, of great writers and fantastic performers from all over Brooklyn who will come up here today, from a very young, amazing genius that we said earlier to an old man. So, who's also my former roommate and is an amazing writer and everything in between. So, 2 things we're going to do today. 1, we're going to pay as much attention as possible. And what that means is not being quiet. It means engaging with the person on. Do not snap your fingers, brother. This is not. We are church. This is not snap your fingers. That's rule 1A. We don't snap fingers. We clap. We make noise. We respond. When you feel something, this is a hollow hall. This is not the marbled, sanitized halls. When we feel something, we respond to it. We make noise. We laugh. We cry. We hoot. We holler. We got it? Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Rule number 2. Do not ask me to perform. No. Let me make this very clear. I don't mean me not performing. I mean you not performing. This is not an open mic. This is a curated experience. But talk to me about your performance and I'll come to it. I'm here in town. I'll come hang out. Get me in for free. So, rule number 3, which is my favorite rule. Have fun with this. This is not, poetry oftentimes is expressed as an emotional escape or an emotional moment. But there are more emotions than sadness and anger. There's joy, there's love, there's affection. And what you hear tonight will be, again, using that same word, an assortment and variety of different emotions. So be prepared, have some fun. And I'm excited to bring, as I say, in New York, I have a bunch of what I call young boys and young girls who I have either watched grow up, I've helped them grow up, and now they're grown, blank word, men and women. It's amazing. And one of them is here today. So I'm excited to bring up here one of my young boys who's now a grown man. So please, clap your hands, make the noise for the wordsmith, Steve Rice. Oh, sorry, definition. I can't use the government. No finger snapping.
In all meaning of its conflict, and beyond this, the words get lost in the artist, and without struggle there is no progress. So more or less the truth is in the context. What up, Brooklyn? I said, what up, Brooklyn? This is Crown Heights. This is my daddy's neighborhood, Crown Heights, Bed-Stuy, all that. I'm from right down the block in Flatbush. And yes, I know he gave you a rule, but I've been in this game. If you feel like snapping, you can snap. I'm a poet. People say think outside the box. I'm like, why is there a box to begin with? I got 5 to 7 minutes, so I'm going to hit you with some haiku. Just quick, haiku is singular and plural. I have a master's degree in English. We'll talk about the other degrees later. And speaking to the leader here, because I'm looking for more leadership, I just got my school district leadership certification in the mail the other day. So I'm going to do some haiku. 575 ain't got nothing to do with getting high. First one. And I'm just going to run through them. Secretary, rearrange alphabets in life, you get filed, get organized. Sable Sand, police brutality. If shell is nicknamed for bullet, then black men reek of Coney Island. 31 woman, gave your life away like many half Bibles, proverb girl you are. I'm just running through them. T-Town, reparations came, but if you're not from Tulsa, then those blacks missed out. Global clarification, forget sexy, this young poet is trying to bang Pangea back. Africa's legacy, Grecians and Romans rewrote life from our cliff notes, but we still praise them. The make under, gentrification, neo-colonialist bleaching the ghetto. So that's just some haiku for you, but this is what I really want to read. Rest in peace to all who passed away from police brutality, death to racism, death to discrimination, death to things like COVID. This is about all of that in one. This is called the Black Plague 2020 style. Imagine pushing through the tiniest clear egg, nibbling it to nothingness for mere survival, then devouring everything in sight, expanding 100 times your size just to hang yourself from your own viscera. Afterwards, you can vote your body, split your head, and stretch your face's skin to cover your nakedness. While ensnared, you digest your old body whole. Following 2 days of feasting, you violently rupture your shell to protect Mother Nature. He was just 7 years innocent, joyful to explore again the Poconos during summer, on holiday from school. He couldn't wait to sprint out the house and ball in a local park. Alone, since Big Brother was back home plastered to video games, he walked past 2 cars strangely parked, the Onyx Oldsmobile not vacant. Another boy, just a wee smaller, proclaimed, "Look, Grandma, a nigger." Even at 7, he felt embarrassed for them through his grimace. All the summer's wonderful incidents escaped his young mind. No different, a dozen years later, that frail boy grew into a fine college scholar and danced the party into the morn, hit the food courts just before sleeping. With 3 brown buddies, only he and Jermaine heard 2 fellows discussing black lives that apparently didn't matter, and wondering if their minds were magicianing reality. The second was hateful, truthful, undeniable. Jermaine, ready to fight his college experience away, was fanned back into logic. No innocence, for each year there's a clock's marker. Our protagonists school the races, teaching them the difference between niggas and their goose, reminding them of melanated nobility, making them feel lower than brutes with criminal records. Even the white cashier applauded how he handled the trauma. A decade and a half year later, I keep those innocent 7 and knowledgeable 19 individuals in heart. With each beat, I teach my younger cousin students the truth that I see them, care them, love them, and pray them into higher existences harder than wishing Senator Obama into that Pearl building. They are targets in this America cocoon. Society sees Medusa in their lovely locks, bloody canines in their growing grins, and targets on their blessed Bartman bodies they don't own. Whether too many Skittles, Lucy's, or ganja, they can't breathe, and I struggle to any hope. Beelzebub weaponized the Chads and Karens of this diminutive domain called Earth, turning melanin into prize panther prints, denouncing royalty to rabid raccoons. America is terrorizing herself from within and just expositioning to realize it is Roman Empire point 2. No bewilderment here. Them old-timey Greek thinkers taught the U.S. world. Even Aristotle justified proto-racism in his metaphysics 4 millennia prior, Columbus measling natives away, then naming them after Vespucci's family surname. This continental country is all a circus, and the Bubbas and the Jessies all the way to the puissant politicians practice potent prejudice more powerfully than Beyonce's homecoming. 10,000 outliers hours is an IBAT for professionals making 2020 CE feel more like 2006. Rest in peace, Sean Bell. 1980. 1932, 1865, 1776, 1619, 1492, 160, 3000 BCE. Discrimination is enculturated into our cow milk and corn syrup, into our G.I. Joes and gasoline, into our insurance and algorithms, into our ABCs and Legos. We are more concerned with 6 feet under than apart. This militia nation is devouring and self-mutilating its own corpse, not looking a day older than bigotry. Preserve your prejudice pancakes, reserve your racist rice grains, salvage your systemic statues. All we ask is for your bullets not to pray grace before cornmealing us into your praying plexus, then that our applications are improved without advanced interest, that we receive Washington's medical mindfulness without the South's apartheid, that we are awarded the same education as Addis Ababa, Helsinki, and Ottawa, that we can return home safely without our keys being perceived as lockpicks, where our 7-year youngins can actually kid themselves. Rupture your armor before causing a struck max. Your privilege will not save you from your own psychosis, your own disgusting puke barrier, your own almighty's fire this time. Only then can we all become beauteous, beautiful blue streak butterflies, saving this matriarchal mud before menacing Mars, and function as the greatest coming of ages. Peace, Brooklyn.
One more time, please clap for definition. Like I said, I promised you different types of emotions, and we got it, didn't we? So, coming up next, because I didn't tell them in the order, I feel like being random, catch them off guard. I know his sister. See, now he knows who it is. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you see here, he's multi-talented. Please, put your hands together for Philip E.B. Elliott, y'all. Come on now.
I'm so excited. Yo, thank you for pulling up. Also, that was amazing. Oh, my God. I didn't memorize my stuff, but I'm going to read it with passion. I'm Philip. If you see me, say hello. I'm friendly. Why not? This poem I actually did for the Wild Seeds Retreat. It was a prompt by Keisha Anderson. She was like, write a poem about something you disagree with. My man's J Pro. He's like a musical genius, but at the same time, I disagree with him strongly. Here we go. Flat Earth. The government has your best interest in mind. The trail of tears has long since dried. The truth would never be redacted and scratched out. They certainly wouldn't lie for any reason, cross my heart, and hope to be assassinated in front of my young children. The earth is actually flat, like notes from the belly of the understudy that believes that they are here by accident, not round, like a bullet, rotating, meant to travel through soft tissue. Scientific principles discarded like political rivals. Have to see what fits the narrative. Project strength. Some people think the world sits on the back of a giant turtle, moving slowly. Coming out of your shell has implications for the entire planet. They don't know the weight you carry, how many people need you to be strong. Some people think the world is round, like the cheeks of a newborn, waiting to be pinched gently. You know how to cry as soon as the oxygen fills your lungs. This next piece, like lately, politically, disgusting. Want to throw up every time I see the news. People wake up when they realize that people deserve to be treated fairly or empathy. They kind of make fun of them. This piece is about that. There's a clip, the lady I will vote for Donald Trump, and then it didn't really work out for her. Anyways, empty living room. You would think when someone anoints you to campaign for them, when it's time for your husband to be deported, they would show you some love. Pardon your ignorance. I don't hate you. Time has a tendency to peel and reveal thin veils. When you breathe in betrayal, there's an astounding quiet when you exhale. Pay no attention to the millionaire next to the little girl in pigtails. Ads glitching your empathy. Uninstall due process to upgrade your freedom. claiming inferior humans deserve less dignity. History always has more spit when it repeats itself. History so revolting and ugly, why not inject Botox until there's fine people on both sides? Didn't know the exhibition of cruelty was interactive. I thought these restraints only fit on the wrists of strangers, the ache of one less pair of shoes after the keys turn. I got like one more. I figured I would leave you wanting more than do too much. Anyways, what side will you be on in response to Amiri Baraka? Celebration of madness or ruddy revelation of truth? Will you raise glasses to false victory, unworthy causes, cruelty? What side will you be on? Will you resist convenience when doing the right thing requires more than likes, tweets, and comments, no longer anonymous or theoretical, when justice has a tangible and costly consequence? What side will you be on? Will you cage sins like a confession booth, silent while the wife is forgotten like the perfect side piece? What I am starting to wonder, will the truth ever be released back into the wild when it is no longer weak on weary legs? We're going to leave it there. We're going to leave it there. Ooh.
One more time, y'all, please. I love it. I give a good report. One more time, please, Mr. Elliott. So we had auditions at the famous and fabled 7-7. Please clap for Miles and 7-7, please. And of course, when I call him out, he's not in the room. Let's try this again. Miles and 7-7, thank you. Who is technically, clap better than that. That man helped sponsor this, so please. So before we did it, we talked about it, 3 people told me, yo, there's this young lady named Nico. You have to hear her. She's really good. See? And when we got there and she read, I totally understood why everyone was telling me about her. I'm mean, I like nothing, but this young lady here really is talented and really great with words. So please clap for Nico, everyone.
That was like so nice. Thank you. Hey y'all, my name is Nico. I'm actually reading from my book, At Least the Ocean Will Stay. I just did a book launch and I sold out, so I will not be selling any copies. If you want some copies, I'm ordering more if you want some more, so please tell me, oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna read through them. Salt, fat, acid, heat. I remember when you asked, can I be your friend? And what a mistake that was, mistaking your margarine for butter. Your hands kneaded and folded, pushed and pulled, baking powder settled into sheets. Milk substituted water, brown sugar for honey, flavor, texture, taste, never quite right, close enough. I wondered if I was half-baked, so I sat in a large oven every week, hoping I got the recipe right, but I always ended up burned. And I watched the ocean tasting my own salt, knowing I was never part of the recipe. I just wasn't part of the recipe, that I was your cake to eat too. Thank you. So the title of the next poem, I have the sound on. I don't know if you guys use those things to sleep. So the title is 10 Hours Sleep Under Rain Sounds, Ocean Waves for Sleep HD. It always tends to be much more complicated than we think at the beginning. First, it's a look, more of a sideways glance, maybe a smile, maybe not. Second, a hug, more like an embrace, more like your tongue, maybe not. Third, most importantly, are your eyes in the morning, the calm before the storm, and the inevitable burst of lightning when they open, and I count the seconds before the thunder of your sadness. They call them Lichtenberg figures, the scars that linger as a facsimile of tree branches, often fading after a day or so, and I am covered in your wrinkles for now. one's short. Treading. For those who back the black and blue, they hang us all the same. And maybe then you will realize that bruises don't discriminate. You haven't done that one before. That's a new one. Samsara. I feel like I've been saying goodbye. I wish this bothered me. My friend asked me if I was afraid of death yesterday. I said no, I just don't want to go violently. But death I am not that woman afraid of. I've been under anesthesia. I've had the tail end of insomnia. I've had the fear of waking up less whole. I've fallen, I've flown, I've drowned, I've sang, I've cried, I've laughed, I've loved. My word, have I fought. Did you know you can't read in dreams? I've dreamt. Where my body just gives up, but that is a lie. But death, no, I am not afraid. It's not the end of things. It's not the ever after. It's not an eternal sleep, and it's not nothingness, which implies something, fate and motion, which is my issue with deists. I think she, yes, she, have you met men anthropomorphized, is the absence of nothingness. There is nothing to fear but fear itself. It's just something a white man said to excuse shamelessness. I like to think I'm sincere. I'm going to do one more. This is from my first book, The Art of Transmutation. That is definitely sold out, but get at me. The sun had set and so had her dreams. I was born in Mercury, warm and sweet, curls reaching out towards Venus, displaced by Earth and heartbroken by the moon, where I left my half-heart and it lambasts me at present. Mars got too familiar, so seeing me torn asunder by the asteroids, and left me vulnerable to Jupiter's soft legs and lovely freckles. Running deftly away from feverish passion, I stumbled and slipped so that Saturn held me under his ring, until Uranus whisks me away with soft poetry and wishes be held by non-monogamous glances. Neptune shyly stole my glance, taking my breath and pressing until I thought I'd finally rest. When I asked Pluto why they never asked me to dance, they responded, well, you were always with another planet. Thank you.
One more time, please. And I do love to hear Bill Withers said the best word you see outside of a store is sold out. So one more time, clap for her song out. So while we hit the midpoint, so let's ask some people some questions. Who came last night to the opening? Anyone? Raise your hands. All right, so no, you put your hand down. You work here. So let me ask you, what did you enjoy about yesterday? Yes, yes. Michael? Yes. And Dr. Green? What did you enjoy about it? Nice, nice. Please clap for that. Clap for that. That's a great. Who else? I saw some hands raised. Who else was here yesterday? Raise your hand. And down and put your hand down. Who else was here yesterday? Actually, Miles, you were here yesterday. Oh. Yes. Ah. Hi, Grandma. I'm trying to get one. So, Miles, you were here yesterday. What did you take from yesterday's? Oh man, I just, as you know, Ty, I always enjoy when the village gets together and we can get some intellectual food to fill our souls. Nice. That's what it was for me. Saw that really, all of us together. I love it. I love it. Clap for that too, please. And check out 7-7 tomorrow. Actually, where is it tomorrow? At Austin, Brooklyn, 653 Flatbush Avenue. Say it one more time. 7-7 Nice, nice. So, who else was there yesterday? I need one more person. Raise your hand. Okay, I like your hat, so. Oh, that's not a hat, it's a wrap. Oh, excuse me. I can't see, I'm old. Uh-huh. I mean, first of all, I'm going to tell Michael you call him a young man. He's going to love that. That's all he's going to hear when I text him and say, someone called you a young man, because he's going to love all of that. All right, please clap for yourselves again. A little bit way through. Little stretch. All right. So we have 4 more amazing people. This happened not on accident. I kind of did this laid out in my head. So I met this young man. I think it was at Soul Cafe. I was like, I like his style. Kind of smooth. Got a little hood in him. Got a little not hood in him. Got a little conversation in him. He thinks he's sexy. You know, all the little things. It was like, then we started talking, and I realized this young man does a lot in the community. He cares about writing. And so I'm excited to bring him up to the stage. The name fits him perfectly. Honest Abe.
Peace. What's up, my people? Y'all good? All right. I'm just gonna get right into it. All right. While walking down the street of Sorrow, a mile away from Hope Avenue, I see a mother, pregnant with pride, saying, "I can't do this." So I'm like, don't abort your baby values, young sister, before having a chance to birth a soothsayer cure for the disease of nature we call life. Because I can't keep my alcoholic mind from drinking the lyrical liquor my homeless sense of direction needs to heal my Achilles heart for good. I want some help with this dyslexic hyperattention deficit disorder. See, you and I have made a special guest appearance in a sheltered hospital called Life, with a parking lot named Universe and desire a good karma vehicle to ride into the town of healthy souls. See, me and my brothers were born with handicaps, a heart disease, making us fall for the wrong woman at the right time. A brain tumor depth perception, questioning my reality around me to see if someone could diagnose those symptoms from clarity inside. And God is the king of this county, and Jesus runs it. And God is the king of this county, and Jesus runs it. And I've been on my knees daily praying for redemption peroxide to help close these open wounds of sin. So don't give your principles for adoption, young sister, because without them, we can't survive. My condom words could be the protection for heads above the shoulders of common man, but launching lethal loogies from a halitosis mouth can't fill these empty pores of character, making you sick of living. See, you both were born with an illness of biblical proportion. Dr. Death classified it as the 7 deadly sins. Instead of punishment, I'm a glutton for a dose of hope. I've envied the man I wanted to become since the age of 10. So this man you see before you can stand tall from these wheelchairs. Damaged souls need to get around it, and the other sins don't affect me as much as these do. Yes, sacrifices must be made to ensure our safe release as a patient in a tainted Eden. But now you look at me as if the terminal cancer of despair is diluting from your eyes to accept this dose of hope. See, the pain medicine compound we need lives inside us, and trust, together with will, faith, and determination, the encrypted prescription lies in our sights. So take my hand and ride with me to the town of healthy mind, body, and souls. That piece was called A Dose of Hope. Let's see. Doing good on time? 2 minutes. Shit. All right. No, I'm ready. Where do you go when one path tugs on your mind's heartstrings with tunnel vision. Pushing pens like penicillin villain, the truth will come in this mission. It's the only road I've known. Growing to walk this creative depth sentence, my father installed the shoes to fit these feet with. Saints' tensions followed by sinner tendencies needing repentance, wearing cross colors, finding crossroads along the way. And brownstone beats in summer heat background were the soundtrack of this ute. I was tight toward the end of my first job when one of my coworkers stole my CD player. She must have needed it more than me to rob me, so I've had trust issues with women ever since. Told while in school I lacked social skills as if to give off repressed energy, but in reality I was depressed at will because the future was full of negative plight. Lived around hungry black huggers who wanted to take food off my plate, but all I had to give them were 2 knuckle sandwiches like you bugging, dog. Led astray on my journey around Crown Heights, Brooklyn street corners, noticed the heroin needles while my heroin at home needed less stress, living in a different world, all in for show like Carsey and Warner warn her that the past trauma can make my mother lose her morals. And oral fixation with words and souls contributed to the direction, learning that what others think about what I say and do is a them problem. Deciding to love myself and lace front the message with it, that's what this purpose is driven with. Understand the Marley-inspired redemption song this piece holds on the playlist of my life. Every day is a scene from the biopic where there are no reshoots. Death, sex, rebirth, broken hearts, broken minds, and bodies to heal from the heels. Still standing because the chiropractor actions I didn't expect to flex my path positively. Choosing the road less traveled like Morgan Scott Peck has shown, but at the end of the day, this is the only road I've known. Peace.
Woo! One more time for Honest A, please. While I get my phone. So I guess it was a year ago, and we had a different selection process, and we were sitting around on the Zoom and telephones trying to find talented people to come up here and read. And one of the professors knew of a young lady, so I want to read her bio. I want to read this, it's important. And also I want to apologize because somehow her name is spelled wrong. She should be Do without an E, so I want to publicly apologize for that. I didn't realize that. All right. Angela Du, a young poet and actress, was the national winner of the 27th Celebrate America Creative Writing Contest. Clap for that. For her achievement, she was featured on Good Morning America. Clap for that. She was also recognized with 3rd place internationally in the Social Justice Watchers Writing Contest in 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, please clap your hands for Angela Du. You're not short. You're just not tall.
Oh. Okay. A little hard to top off the intro, but okay. Hi.
Hi, Angela.
I'm Angela. So basically, I've been writing for what? 5-ish years. Okay, so basically, really, I've been writing, and it's really taught me a lot about New York as a community, not just saying where I live, but like what the people are like, because I find that it's different in other places. It's not like you see people on the street, you smile at them, they don't smile back. They're just like, so I've been involved in my school summer writing program for 4 years. And I've really learned about how you want to tell a story. You don't start with, I went to the ice cream store. You tell them what the ice cream store is like. You tell them what flavor you like. You describe it. And so that's really taught me how to write. And along the way, I was, as Ty said, honored to win the National Grand Prize in this poetry contest. And this really inspired me to keep growing. As a 5th grader, I was like, oh yeah, well, whatever. But I never really thought back, and I was never really like, wow, that's like different. It's not just like when I read something during show and tell in kindergarten. But it's really just sharing what I care about, and yeah. So I'm going to read some pieces I've written. I'll just start with the one that was on Good Morning America. Why not? Okay. Stories of Us. I sit by the windowsill, gazing outside. Down on the street, so many heads. Each is unique. Amidst the traffic and frantic honking, I sense the presence of millions of others, just like me. I contemplate the journeys. Each of us, all of us have a story. When mothers and fathers ventured far across the world, their sense of adventure leads them in search of a new life. Then I think about all the diverse people and a myriad of languages, foreign to one, but familiar to another. When I open my window, I hear those languages harmonizing, merging together to form a chorus. But not just any choir, the symphony of every single person's story, a song where every note counts. I think about the stories that Father would tell me, about my father's mother and his migratory voyage. My father's trip to America with only $300 in his suitcase and a brain. I ponder about each and every one of the people in my neighborhood, and I wonder why he would be willing to relinquish everything to even speak in a foreign tongue. I think about his pride in having dual nationalities, of being able to keep his traditions close to heart, but embracing a new piece of himself. American. Then my thoughts drift to school. All of the different students, each of us with our own stories, the accounts of our ancestors and all that they sacrificed for us, each and every one of us, to be here, at this moment, right now, to be present. Someone had to work hard. Someone had to shed tears of exhaustion, leaving behind familiar joy and wonder, and leaving behind their history, to create new memories and stories in one country, forming one grand story. But this story isn't just any story. It is the story of us, the U.S., the story of the United States of America. Okay, so the rest are a little different. I have this one. I think I wrote this one a long time ago, but it's okay. I never knew. I never knew what it meant until that day. A simple book showed me a new and different way. I saw a world with hate and power at play. Things once perfect, now in disarray. I saw blotchy faces with hollow eyes. Homes of laughter turned to silent cries. Women and children running out of supplies. Families torn apart and conflicts arise. I watched as many fell, yet the reason didn't ring a bell. I watched as people slumped in a cell. This topic we shall not dwell. But if we can believe and grow as we grieve, but the hate under siege we can really achieve, behind the fear and the hate, with justice to celebrate, let's open up these gates and use our words to communicate. I never knew that we could conquer greed, like their visions, determined creed. Like Malala, writing words to heed, defying loss with unwavering speed. I never knew that humanity is all we need. Okay. The rest of these are a little newer. Okay, so first I have this one. I think I tried to do this through an image of really never-ending rain to like describe an image of how quickly that the actions of people around others can change someone's headspace. Not just physically how they might hunch their backs or hide, but really the psychological change between how you truly carry yourself through your day-to-day actions. Rain. A knitted gray quilt has enveloped the sky, and the place we call home has succumbed to the dark. The trees don't speak anymore, and just fall into the slow undoing, branches collapsing and not bothering to continue pursuing. There's no one here, and yet I stay. A ghost lies still against the bark. What once was green is washed in gray. What once was flame is barely spark. The wood in the bonfire is soggy now. No one to shelter it from the rain. How? How can I keep staying here and watch everything I've ever known fall apart? The ferns are overgrown, and they droop against the weight of the rain as it beats down on themselves. They let themselves be tortured, bullied even, because they don't care anymore. Okay. Let's see. So this one I wrote during the summer writing program I was talking about earlier. Fear. You cannot live in fear. You cannot heal in fear, and fear will never make you stronger. So you must rise with it. You cannot hide behind your fear, or it will destroy you. You might not be the same. And rarely will you learn to embrace it, to let it be a part of you, to let yourself be afraid. But don't let yourself live in it. If you do, you might lose everything. If you're free falling from the sky, don't let yourself be afraid of heights. If a new chapter begins in your life, don't let a fresh page intimidate you. Because being afraid will only do one thing to you. It will wreck you. Okay, so this is my last one. Who here read The Pearl by John Steinbeck? Okay, so you know how Steinbeck kind of writes differently? He writes like, instead of saying, Kojito laughed and the scorpion fell on him, he said something like, a laugh bubbled from the box and the scorpion tail landed on Coyotito's shoulder. And I was like, why are you writing your novel like that? So then I was like, you know, that's actually kind of cool. Maybe I should try that. And so I decided to write a poem, kind of like how Steinbeck wrote, but about the book. I don't know, it doesn't really make sense to me now, but that's okay. So yeah, I really worked on that. Allure. Nimble hands stroke the water as deft fingers tear free the softened music of what really might be. For now they reach a shell, so pristine yet so alone, waiting to be taken with all its glory shown. Yet surely it cannot be implored. Such beauty isn't dreamed of,
Come on now, stop that now. Come on, y'all. So I put like 2 little Q&A things in here for her.
Oh, okay.
It'll be fast. It'll be painless, I swear. First of all, stop her again, please. So, my purpose isn't to tell you one. Tell everybody your age, please.
I'm 12.
So, what high school you went? Well, actually, what middle school are you in now?
Chapin. It's in Manhattan.
Manhattan.
It's a girls' school.
What high school you want to go to?
I don't know. My school's K-12.
I'm sorry, say again?
My school's K-12, so I'm going to stay.
Look at your mom, let's see. Is she staying?
Yeah, she's there.
Is she staying at Chapin?
Probably. I don't know.
That's a parental yes. I've said that guy before too.
Oh,
All right.
that's great.
Second question. Third question. I don't think she wants to. Third question. What kind of writing do you want to do in the future?
Okay, so I really like essays.
Okay.
I hate school essays. There's a difference, but
What's the difference?
exactly. The difference.
She's a professor. Don't listen to her.
School essays, they give you these assignments, and it's like write about, I don't know, this specific thing. You have to analyze, why did this character do this in a book? Like, I don't know, maybe because they're not real and this author has
Wait, what you said earlier? Why is there a box? That's what you said earlier, right? There is no box. Clearly there's no box. One more time, please. Stop acting the dude, y'all. Thank you. It's so, I love this. Oh my God, it's great. So I have this really weird theory that artists, or most people have like, I would say, most people have like a job, a hobby, a talent, a skill, and then the side hustle, and then the thing you really love to do. Then there's my man, Nasibo. Nasibo is an artist, he's a designer, he can paint, he can do theater, he can dance. Right now he has a photo shoot going on and do a thing. It is, people use the word hyphenated artist or renaissance. It's like thrown around like branding, things like that. But then some kind you find someone who actually is excellent at all the things that he's doing or they're doing, and you get Nasibo. So please, put your hands together for my man.
What's up, beautiful people? How y'all feeling, man? Everybody good? Yeah. Talking about. Yes, my name is Nasa Nemo, and it's a pleasure to be here with you guys, sharing this literary aspect. Yeah. And it was a pleasure listening to everybody's words, man. You guys, it flashed me back to the 90s when I was running around with the rest of those cats in those times doing this poetry thing. Magical stuff, magical stuff. Thank you for feeding my soul today. All right, let's get into this. Yes. This first piece I'm gonna share with you guys is called Artist. Have you ever danced dreams from the darkness into the living light? After the soul like a kite soars the naked night. And by the day seductive segues into subliminal sight, forces the fearful to fight this fight with fearless fright. I try to live life right, but the oddity of this odyssey sometimes scares me, though I'm facing my pilgrim's plight. Right through the rigidity of reality's simplicity, I sense the seasons calling me, questioning my inner chi. But will it be there where I want them, when I want them to be? Must my soul rest in the sky's wilderness before I feel the ease of this season's breeze? Have you ever danced under trees, deciphering degrees, minds sailing across soul seas? Those waters dense darkness burnt off the mind's iris when I sail with gist into that mystical mist, 7 sounds around 6 to ripen its rhyme in the midst of the knits and the grits. I foresee future feats to force the fickle heartbeats. My brow has been kissed, and now the amethyst rhythm in my wrist sees bliss through the mist. And I know that I'ma get there, where personality's passionate pangs hiss, then crisscross across life's course in undefined patterns, each one holding a lantern leading to the seedlings of this earthling's early breedings, of this earthling's first feedings preceding existence. For the power of thought brought life into existence, and the persistence of that thought gave life its consistence. Now time is of the essence, time is of the essence, and for the first time I felt the presence of ancient remnants, prophetic peasants possessing the innocence of inner sense, wafting in the incense and the clouds of cannabis cover, elevated ethers hovering over and over. And when I bloom, my tunes commune with cosmic order. Completely absorbed in an iridescent orb, I return once robbed, jewels and spools of mental threads dangling from my dreaded head. Reality's realism cleared, revealing rivers running red, collective consciousness cluttered by brutal bloodshed. Ma'at weighs too many hearts as heavy as lead. What a rotten reality to be force-fed. Whatever happened to the times when we cared and shared our soul of self-simplicity indiscreetly? I remember being reared in the halls of the all's divinity until her cries beckoned me, screaming me out of her body, and the power of her thought brought life into existence. There was no resistance to the clairvoyant audience. Now these feet greet the earth with mirth. After wandering within to witness Genesis' birth, time now has worth. And these feet trod its terrain through the sun and the rain, through the joy and the pain, through the light and disdain. And what remains is what we've been working for so long, just to see our seed singing songs with free tongues. We can't let freedom flee from our grasp, instill the will into the children and send a message to move the mass. Out of those caves, don't be enslaved by that vast caste class. Revive your will and stand it still across the mind ship's mass. To sail soul, sea steadfast. But don't sail too fast or face that crass contrast between the ill and the real, thus still feel the chill. So some succumb to the humdrum, marching to the beat of the dumb drum. When will we learn from our past? Alas, the torn pieces of our soul, sold to this cold world, unfolds categories untold. Relearn self-story so its glory can be retold. Behold, what's new is old. Hold that close to heart, so solar self can finally see where divinity's tree starts, where infinity's lark is calling us back through these songs with free tongues that sprung from free lungs, for we are all one, children of the sun. All right, I'm gonna share a piece called Thought in an Auction Block. I was told I was too old to be sold when I was brought to be bought. Standing on an auction block, I had only one thought. What sort of man and manner of madness did they adopt to turn life's gladness into the sadness of this corrupt sport? Caught between reasoning my reality scene and a scheme to redeem the righteous rebel within, I spring into action in a fraction of a second to beckon the blessings of those who rose from ship sunken to beckon the blessings of those whose woes have been forgotten. I felt the plot thicken as I became a beacon, and the chains on my arms and feet began to weaken, and the passion in my personalities began speaking, seeking a way to cope, seeking a ray of hope. Then the rope of smoke around my throat broke, and my silent speech reached reproach. Hands fly free and begin to choke. I was that small axe to take cracks at that big oak. You spoke too soon, massa, NASA never fell faster. There was no way for him to pull the whiplasher from its horse. The fire was filled with ancestor and fueled by the fact that my soul had been blistered and twisted into foreign forms torn from the Book of Mormons in the 9th chapter where doom spawned. I felt my spirit storm, my fickle fingers go numb, and my heart pound to the sound of ancestors' drum. Radical born, torn from commonplace, displaced to witness the tears and fear in his face. It made my heart race at such a relentless pace that it shook my ribcage and gave my growl bass. I could already taste his demise, so his trace flashed across his eyes, and though he struggled and he tried to save his life, my pride denied denied any truth to hide. Now I stand side by side with my ancestral guides, and we ride those restless rivers of rage together. A rage too aged to be gauged by the pages of time, so sages unwind to remind me of times when minds were free. Before our dynasties declined and we lost our shine to this grit and the grind, caught existing in a benign state of mind now, recklessly reaching over paradigm lines to sweeten a life lived as sour as lime. So Master gasped his last gasp, and passed in the grasp I had clasped round his throat. But before he croaked, these are the words that he spoke, and I quote, I had no clue that little nigger boy blue would be one of the few to rise and give me what's due. Thank you for your time. Again, nice to meet you. Thanks again to Ty and the entire crew of people that came here to share the words and skills with me. I appreciate you guys. One more time.
So here we come. I'm trying to figure out, do I roast this dude or be professional? Roast? I'm gonna ask my boss. Hey boss, do I roast this guy or be professional? Roast. Okay, roast. See, I bet you wish Dr. Green was here because she was saying roast actually too. All right, so have you ever been to, there's a place called Brooklyn Moon. And a place called Sunday Tea Party. And a spot called the Near Weekend. I can selfishly say that I'm part of a small cohort of people who made that place famous. And just so happened, my roommate might have been better than me. No, he's not. No, he's not. But I had the luxury of living with someone who was also part of that cohort. And we met through the black art scene. And it was a fun time. We were broke, but we had fun. We wrote books, we made music, we danced till 4 o'clock in the morning. But the biggest thing about that cohort is that it has been, man, I guess this makes literally 30 years. This year's 30 years. And we are still creating. From that cohort too, it wasn't just poets. It was politicians, cultural leaders, curators, painters, writers. I mean, the whole gamut. And it's a crazy thing to look back on 30 years to realize that you and this brother and your friends are now the cultural elders. Yeah. Like I'm a grandparent. So it's driving me crazy. So, and also the one thing that makes Brad special, besides being able to cook chicken, and the man could cook some chicken. Trust me, I was using his chicken to get dates. It was working. Is that the work is the work. He's a craftsman about the work, but he also finds time and reason to take the work into the real world by actually doing what he's saying in the poem, being an ally, being an advocate, fighting for human rights, going around the world discussing just his poetry and his art, but how that impacts the black and brown communities across the world. Because the one thing I will say from that cohort, we take our community seriously, maybe to the point where it can be a lot, and I'm fine with that. So it is with honor, because last year, I was he supposed to perform me last year, he dumped me. So, see, now don't send him his check, because last year he didn't want to do it with me. But this year, I'm excited to introduce my former roommate and one of my best friends in the entire planet, Mr. Brad Walrond. real good thing, and published by our other best friend, Jessica Kier Moore. So please make some love for that.
Greetings. I have never been roasted so beautifully. It is an absolute honor.
I mean, I could have said other things if you want. Okay.
You're done. It is an absolute honor to be here. I am grateful to come behind these beautiful voices. Yeah. I will say, I've never been on a no poetry event where the poets kept it to time. That said, this is my book, Everywhere Alien, published as a collaboration with More Black Press and Amistad HarperCollins. And it came out in the summer of 2024. So I'm going to be reading a lot of stuff in there and one new piece, I think. Okay. The indigenous. Balls deep into the Flatbush extension. We was born again inside a Jacob Lawrence painting, north of the Mason-Dixon line. Who then are the natives? The ones who give the boroughs its staples. The Lenape who slash and burn. The ones they slashed and burned, whose offerings we remember. Their sacrifice won't forget. Cushaw squash, rabbit, beaver, prickly pear, popped amaranth, episodial, smoked cottonwood leaf, quail, yucca fruit, bittered acorn, blue corn, and beer root. Domino sugar, Greg Tate, Junior's cheesecake, Ray's famous pizza, Jovi, Roti, Juve and the Puerto Rican Day Parade, Maldoros, Black Rock Coalition, matzo ball, pastrami, and hot corn soup. Sweet mother of God! Madonna does not know how to vogue! Sidewalks, echolocate, eggshell, Adidas, and beatbox cheekbones, Wu-Tang, Vernon Reed, Living Color, Tamara, Sandra St. Victor, Sophia Ramos, The Family Stand, Patti Smith, Biggie Smalls, Soul, Sonic Force, Tables Turn, Whip, R&B, ABBA, Afrobeat, and the conga into stiff beats, dub beats, break rock in a paradise garage, Larry Levan's dance floor raps, concrete roundest rhythm, I am the horse's teeter, tottering speech with high gloss, hormones and heat, post-pubescent seesaw, quick rich traps, rough landings, ambition correlate with rent parties, slow money run, the Wall Street laundromat, pockets pink, the hard-won grit oiled into afros, and red-lit and faded egos of would-be matadors. The ear down here is a freestyle cipher screaming lyrics onto the droplets of mothers' dreams. The free train is a river run free in Brooklyn, fed every day by the blood of living and dead goddaughters and sons. Dreams wet with want, perish the future every day. Every day. If I may ask for some more water before I work. Water, 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 water. Water, 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 water. It's empty. Oh. Or it's not enough. Oh.
No, don't drink it. Raise it. Don't drink it.
Oh, you said it's done.
He gets thirsty after one poem. by Nina Simone? Woo! This is called E.T. Close Encounters with Nina Simone. Nina Simone, in her own words, be the proof we was visited by aliens. Entered the stratosphere at the village gate. Her name is Peaches. Her parents were slaves. Witness the cosmic microwave background at the back of her throat. A contralto transceiver spikes space, bites time. Black box transpond, guttural, somber, death rattle. Holy Ghost gravel, fine ground into Warwick's coffee and cream. One day I woke up and I could fly. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. How can you be a star and not reflect the times? Sea Lion woman, faces off Martin Luther King. El Nina, Nephilim, strapped wingspan on an Old Testament eye for an eye. Her dispatch is not nonviolent. Righteous revolutions, hook left, face down west, prostrate east towards Stokely. Hansberry, Garvey, Malcolm, genius, broadcast, pitched, perfect. Traipse the earth's bipolar. Her delta, mercurial as it is magnetic. Her fields is cotton, piano, and aurora. Leave Mr. Backlash with the blues. Metronome, resonate, ultraviolet, divine, feminine. Make Nina's aesthetic a hologram of classical black. Absolute black is a spectrum. Black wrath, black gold, kundalini, transgender. She teleported into a den of smug ideas and elegant people and drove them all insane. They won't never know the vertigo crucifix worn by a name one does not own. Where you come from, Nina? I come from a chemical imbalance. I am Nefertiti's alchemical reincarnation. My skin is black, my arms are long, my hair is like wool. My skin is yellow, my hair is straight and long. I am what I am. Don't belong here, don't belong there. Sometimes at night the walls talk back to me. They seem to say, was it yesterday a better day? I've seen God in Africa having as little to do with human beings as possible. And in some weird way, I'm at peace. Sea Lion woman, dressed in green. Anunnaki wears silk stockings with golden seams. Interstellar Orisha make my mission impossible. Go make the people curious, Nina, about where they come from. Go make the people curious, Nina, about where they come from. They come from the beginning. There's a new joint. This is about black boys and hip hop and fatherhood. I think there's a way we like to write fathers out of our history.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's right, man. The podium goes to all the brothers between the Flatbush Avenue nation states, the Cross Bronx Expressway, and the Kingdom of Shaolin. I hear the gods run heaven like a cipher. Freestyle, free ear, free sons, a flood of fathers. My dad was everywhere, kinda like a fatherhood. It was his easy and complicated terrain that let us grow into our names. The record, the migration, the discography, the gravity here hollers to scratch at the vinyl. The needle shifters flown in to play for their children's supper. Sharecrop for bird feed and mortgages, a yard to run to when the Americana cuts too deep in the grooves born to repair a nation's skin. Vines are made to stretch. The best fathers let them sample and choose. The ground rules, the funk bass, moonlight as nanny cams, the way they loop on how homes sound when no one's watching, which songs are hit, who controls the mic, which bodies hold secrets, which bodies keep them with or without their consent. Being present in no way means perfect. Love is making a place for what you may never fully understand. We were the hustle, strung to the split blue veins of bombing crews armed against erasure. My dad did remember this. Artists do what history is. The dirt business of telling the truth. The high cost, the higher wire, never enough lifespan or runway for those who need it the most. At home, Dad was less God and more human. I know demons can't really steal what they really never had. I know boys born with too much blood bleed out everywhere. I know hipsters will murder a county in order to water their own noise complaints. Kids tap the vein, make love to the breakbeats, the outskirts, the boundaries, split through the new paper, flip the currency, wash the largesse. The culture has always moved its fluid through mountains. Queer bars smelt into hip-hop's original soundtrack. Even when their beneficiaries are too ashamed to lay claim to a boy's poems. 5 fingers, 5 elements, 5 C's. I swear all our sons are grown out of the same stuff. A sandbox of indulgence and sacrifice. One blast relief, one piece of purgatory to withstand a mother's screams, a sister's hollow, a baby brother's last chance to go outside and play without one more missing body stood in for heartbreak. Come on, y'all. Let's all at least show up honest to the cookout and for the microphone check. Every borough is a living room couch full of altars and crime scenes, pronouns and confessions. A spangled Brooklyn sounds like a national anthem to you. All the stars I ever met, I met in orbit or online. The high cost, the higher wire. I didn't bring the whole home up here, child. We're gonna just clap on that one, right? Sorry, y'all. 2 more. I'm gonna do a tribute to, y'all know Mums the Schemer? Yes, sir. Mums is one of our seminal heroes that came up in our time, and he went on to a very famous career in acting and theater. And he died maybe 6 or 7 years ago, 5 years ago. And I wrote this piece for him. And then I'm going to end with a piece for Breonna Taylor. Y'all with me still? Yeah, yeah. but the poets is here, come to worship in his name. Welcome to the old-time meeting ground, where the poet, the roach, and the parishioner swarm in cosplay. Antenna and raised hands make the room wave for a great man. A juke joint rose organ sucks wind on a talk-itched corner. Knock-knock earring chimes wash over the Bronx River Jordan, and the music make. Like niggas ain't never had nobody but themselves. They build it, they burrow, they street cred, they set, they peeps, they crew. Here ain't quite like the Oz we remember, but it sure is damn close. Poets know how to clear out a room. Let the people back in. Open the cipher, now close it. Open the cipher, now close it. We are all here to see you. The Bronx lent its rock and cradle to all of us when those rare earths rose to press that Sugar Hill sound. Rezone our tenement trespass into nanofictures fit for the global and the subversive. Tonight, we come as a project, housing a universe of need. Love, word, bars, sage, crush grief. Mock the origami cranes, tempting our belief, bullying them even to puff open, breathe new life into this broken beat, bleeding into a groove, heads nod in unison, synchronized to the line formation of NOII robot parade, shoulders hunch, right foot fall forward, drum, fall out the larynx of a sample of Risha Sky, niggas rock. Shakes, the world shakes, the lot of us never stop shaking. Nah, this ain't no church, but the poets is here, come to worship in his name. Shelter, acid wash, fronteras, gun run, product push, bomberos, sway down, hustle, double dutch, hopscotch, boost, purple tongues, great novelators, top shelf monster juice, Lucy loose at the bodega. Hands up, don't shoot the bristle, the crunk, the grind, the whistle, and still he occupied those MC bones. Nigga knew a pen had to be a metaphor for the gods in you. The OGs in cipher, the MCs on deck, the spit out your neck, the blood spilt and split between two hills, this four-wall block. Nurse a city of dreams, niggas choose. Niggas is chosen. Which one is you? Everything we do here is me and you. Wrong, light, dot, right, pop, rock, lock, fight, flight. Everything we do here is me and you, niggas choose. Niggas is chosen. Which one is you? Where's Mars? Oh, thank God for water, thank God. Thank God. All right, this, last one, this is called Amphibia. I put a spell on you. This groove, this soprano, a saline well. The ghosts sanctify in sackcloth and ash, patient as dolls, swaying in cipher, holding court, holding breath, waiting for the services to begin. The water is always troubled here. Somebody always falling in something wet. Swole, brown, Tilled must encourage the bodies through to the other side. Amphibia is the only precondition answered in Black prayer. I put a spell on you. There is a bayou swum in broken bones. This kind of snatching only returns bloated things. It is not that we are well. Rather, we've found a way to nurse the only water source in the wail of the unpronounced. History, half erect inside these walls, swells into an abstract, grabs at the throat, any throat it can find. A shrill anoints at the half measure, curdles at half control. Some oil shook wild as the beginning of anything formed of too many words. Whatever it is, it won't let me hold my peace. It has already survived the demise, the burden, the betrayal, the selling away of all one's beloved. I put a spell on you. Whatever it is, it won't let me. All other life still yet spawn from here. That pitch, that soot, that ink, that blues, that din, that dust, that sink, that brood is that which had no way to be enough. And to is that which could not have ever been enough. Is that which would require all surrender of need to scout out that which might could hold the prophet inside the promise of more than enough. That terra firma, that counter tenor, that whatever it is must needs be all that there ever was, all that there ever must will ever be. The trouble here, in the absence of all else, planets drown. The undead float inside the terrors of the whole world. Breonna Taylor died again today, slipping through our arms. She's mine. She's mine. She's mine. I put a spell on you. A cry for one mortal cannot sound like this. This sound, the stretch of it, strains into the fissure at the river's edge. This half soprano, half railroad, half voiceover, half afterbirth must be the last early warning siren.
One more time for Brad Walrond, please. So, Brad, how old are you?
The age of water.
So we're about to wrap this up real quick. We're gonna get two questions. Sorry. So what's next for you?
I'm working on a novel right now. I'm excited about that. I have had touring this book. I've been around the world, Paris, Amsterdam, around the country. It's been an absolute blessing. So I look forward for whatever is.
Can't go too long. Something else. No, that's it. I'll wrap it up. Everyone, please clap one more time for our features. First and foremost, can we bring up, where is he? Gray, who's hiding in the back. Vaughn, who's hiding in the side. Can you walk what you mean it, please? So can you please clap your hands for the two amazing young men here. According to Ron, I work for him. He told everyone here, so they'll get my W-2 and the invoice today. Last but not least, can we bring up our illustrious leader? Very clear. Leah, I know you can hear me. Get over here. And Charlotte, so we can close this out properly. Charlotte, come up. And the reason I'm doing this, these amazing people, the two gentlemen on stage and the two wonderful women coming up here, who are moving like they are old and they're not. They're tired.
Come on, Leah.
I won't do it. I won't do it.
I don't know how to frame my entire time.
Oh, we did. We did.
Oh yeah.
So I want to do this properly. I've been working on this conference in some capacity since 2006, and Brad and I remember this. The first time we came to this thing, I think me, you, Jessica, and we sat literally in the front of the front seats on the floor because Dr. Green. First of all, Dr. Green still thinks I'm 12. That's the first thing. So we've been coming to this thing as fans, as participants, as panelists, as featured. But these are the people these are part of the people who make this thing happen. So, and I don't know if we're going to do this again at some point, and I probably will tomorrow. But can you please clap your hands for our executive director? I was terrible. Clap your hands like you did it with Roy. And so we can leave properly.
I knew he was going to do that. I just really want to, it's going on, right? Yeah. I just really want to thank all of you for being here. For those of you, like Ty said, oh, I know y'all didn't want me to talk. I just really want to thank everybody for being here tonight. It was wonderful. It really, really was. I hope you enjoyed it. But this is, just another kernel of what is going to be happening for the rest of the week. So if you were here today, if you came yesterday, you know what it's about. Tomorrow we start off early, so y'all need to go home, get your rest, and be back here tomorrow because we start at 10 o'clock. We have 3 programs tomorrow. We have our reception tomorrow evening where Ty will be performing, so you can come back for that. And on Saturday we have 2 more performances, 2 more programs, and we have our awards program. So there's a lot happening. If you don't have the schedule, you don't know what's going on, you can go to the centerforblackLiterature.org, and the entire schedule for the rest of the conference is there for you. But we appreciate you all. We can't do it without you. I can't do it without them. I can't. I really, really can't. So, I was telling folks the other day, I'm just like, a name on the letterhead, but the organization literally runs with 2 people. So you see all of this that's going on, it's being done by 2 people and volunteers. So it's a lot of work, and I appreciate it. So I don't know what, I give up on what she does, because she does like everything. And Charlotte, she makes sure we get money. So she's, kind of like indispensable. And these are part of our steering committee. Greg, behind the scenes, when you think, everything's not, here go Vaughn. He want to be in it too. So Vaughn and Greg is helping with the registration and the poetry cafe. And these are our steering committee members and my colleagues in the English department. So not only are we all doing this, we're also teaching as well. So Madiba, Dr. Pettis, Dr. Patterson, they're working behind the scenes as well, helping us out and volunteering. So I appreciate all of you. And you shouldn't have gave me the mic because, like, I like the sound of my voice.
Don't worry. So, please, one more time for Donna Hill, please. Before you leave, a couple of things. First of all, thank you again for coming. Two, Brad, you should go with Gray now to go to where the table is for books. The Gray will take you there. Nico, I know you're out of books, but you should probably get books on you too. So you should go with those two. Do you have books in you? No, nothing? But you should at least, talk to people. So if you do me a favor, talk to the poets, talk to each other. It's important. Community only exists when you communicate. Sometimes communicating can be terrible, sometimes it can be fantastic, but it's still community. So thanks again for coming out for the week of the 18th National Black Writers Conference. This is just part of it, and I appreciate y'all for being here. Come back tomorrow. I promise I will stop making jokes and I will only do poetry and sing.